In 2020, Frederick County faced one of the most dangerous situations in its 275-year history. As a pandemic threatened communities across the world, public health officials in our region dedicated themselves to navigating the crisis and saving lives. In her role with the Frederick County Health Department, Danielle Haskin helped lead the community's response to the COVID-19 pandemic. This is her story.
So hi, my name is Danielle Haskin. I am the Director of the Equity Office for the Frederick County Health Department. And I'm excited to share a little bit of my story of how I came to be working with the Health Department and what it looks like today and what we're looking for towards the future. So initially, my background in public health started with a public health nonprofit that focused on education to historically marginalized communities. And we were really able to tailor our information and our programs towards the needs, their specific needs, whether it's location or language. So when the opportunity came about, unfortunately, when COVID response required that we beef up our efforts, I reached out to the health department and asked what would we do if our community members don't have insurance, or if they don't have cars, or if whatever barriers that they have in place of them, how are we making sure that they're able to receive COVID services as well? And so from that initial question, I was grateful to be brought into the team to kind of help figure that out. So my first role was program manager of the COVID-19 testing efforts, which quickly morphed into vaccination efforts once they became available. But really I saw an opportunity to shift power and take the supporting role and really be able to leverage our community and faith organizations to do the work that they do best. And so they told us the time, the location, and the language to use with the community, and we were just there to provide the testing or vaccinations. We were luckily funded by the county to be able to keep the location where we started COVID-19 testing at our brick and mortar location. So we were intentional about having a location here on the west end of the city because it's not unknown the diverse population that lives here, and then maybe some of the opportunities to expand services to this location. So feedback from the community was that they excited that it was low barrier, there were no appointments required. We have a diverse staff that was able to speak Spanish and English when they came in, so we were able to address that. So what that has resulted in today, we have Frederick County Health Department on the Golden Mile. And while we don't specifically offer services as an equity office, we are really here to help collaborate and coordinate this satellite space to be able to bring services from the health department and other county agencies to the west side of the city so the community members who live here can access it easier. So looking into the future, and what does the future have for us in store? I'm really excited because as a local health department, we're one of a selected few on the East Coast that actually has an equity office, and that provides us a unique opportunity to really be intentional about looking at who are we serving, who do we think we should be serving, and kind of how do we narrow any gaps that may or may not be. How can we look at the specific situations that our community members are facing and then address that on an individual level? But then also looking towards Public Health 3.0 and taking an approach of health in all policies, we know that our health is not determined just by healthcare access, but all of the other things like education and income and our community environment that are related to our health. So how can we look at structural barriers and systemic inequities and ask ourselves, how can we be the voice that brings those things to light? I'm really excited to be able to work with our leadership. Our health officer and our chief equity and inclusion officer are phenomenal, and they've really set the pace to put us ahead. Where Frederick County is leading not only Maryland, but we're really leading the East Coast, in my opinion, on how we are intentionally looking at equity actions where we can eliminate disparities.